you ever want something, but there's a cost later for it that you hate paying? For me, it came in 2012 when I got a chance to sell to Kroger my organically grown sun sugar cherry tomatoes. Because they wanted a package that had a lid and a barcode label, the only option back then was the plastic clamshell. This bothered me a lot. Hi, I'm Linda, owner of Sun Sugar Farms and a former automotive engineer out of Detroit. Maybe it bothers you too how much produce comes in plastic. In fact, the U.S. generates billions of pounds of thermoform clamshells each year, and less than 14% are recycled. This is because even though they're mostly number ones like water bottles, they're too hard to sort because they're adhesives and shapes. But they're cheap. The PET resin is inexpensive, it's mass-produced, and the tooling's been paid for decades. As the years went by and I couldn't find an alternative, I said, hey, why don't I design one myself? But that I even have a patent on now. It's called the Sustainable Produce Container, and they're the most cost-competitive and earth-friendly option on the market today. But how can the SBC help Michigan growers minimize their waste? Well, Michigan's #1 in tart cherry production at 225 million. They're a top producer of blueberries, and you're also a top 10 producer of strawberries. Together, that's almost 500,000 clamshells that could be replaced. And why SBCs would be the solution is because they're made of easy-to-recycle paperboard, and the craft versions are even certified home compostable. The paperboard performs the same or better than plastic, and there's more branding area on the SBCs and lower minimums to customize. And they ship flat, no adhesives, to save money and space. Here's our sales so far and where we want to be. Since our intro in 2020, we've sold almost 5 million SBCs and to growers and distributors needing less than 20,000 units. In 2021, we sold 200,000 units to a new greenhouse grower. In 2023, they went out of business. We took the hit on that, but it helped us realize that we could support the mid-sized grower as well as farmers markets. And in fact, if we could add more growers like that each year, we would greatly increase our sales and number of clamshells replaced. And the growers who choose us over other earth-friendly competition get many benefits. For instance, from this example, this big farm in Florida paid almost 50 cents a container to our competitor with limited colors, and they had to buy a whole tractor trailer load to get the custom printing. Meanwhile, our strawberry grower customer paid half as much for a full color, bigger box, and they would have only had to order a pallet to get that printing. Now let's take a look at the broader competitive picture of all packaging options. If we compare affordability like piece price, capital expense, freight costs, and possible extended producer responsibility fees to how quickly each of those containers biodegrade, the SPCs are the most affordable and the most earth-friendly option of all the containers. Why our company? Well, we make things happen. We have manufacturing suppliers who provide us with great products, pricing, and support. We have an engineering team that's developed a folding robot for under $5,000 if a grower doesn't have the volume to justify the $60,000 full-size machine in the first picture. Plus, I have over 30 years of project management experience and time running my own marketing firm. But to make bigger things happen is where I need your help. For the bigger Michigan commercial growers and even suppliers to Meyer, pilot funding would make it easier for them to experience the value of our container system. In fact, North Bay Produce felt that funds covering SBC costs over plastic would be key to their consideration. And this exposure could in turn lead to deploying additional grower pilots across Michigan. For our first 100,000 piece trial, we're asking for a pilot funding amount of $18,000. What do you as the funder get? Well, how cool would it be to see your organization's name on a big, beautiful, biodegradable box? And not to mention the follow-up data of its impact and the personal satisfaction of knowing there's less waste in Michigan landfills because of you. So why not join this growing movement and help Michigan growers ditch the plastic and switch to sustainable produce containers? I even have free samples for you on the table if you'd like to take back to your favorite farmer. Questions? Yay, I did it. Sorry.